This program is proudly brought to you by the Albion Park Harness Racing Club's additional $78,000 contribution to prize money, being distributed from October to December in selected MO to M4 races. And good evening, everyone. Welcome to Blinkers Off. Chris Barsby is with me tonight. How are you, Chris?
Very well, thanks, David. Looking forward to the week ahead.
Yeah, look, it's a big Saturday night. And of course, it's not here, but it's at Menangle with a Miracle Mile barrier draw conducted last night. Let's have a look at it. Smoke It Up Barrier 1, Liz Again 2, I'm the Mighty Quinn 3, Garnet River 4, it's an emergency. Carlo Mick 5, Mega Alexander, second emergency, barrier 6. Then Mr. Feelgood, Raglan, Terror to Love and Franco Jamar. Some say Smoke It Up is not the horse he was a year ago, but barrier 1 makes him awfully hard to beat.
Oh, it's a huge plus, there's no doubt about it. He was the big winner at the barrier draw function on Sunday night, and he's the horse that is going to lead in this field, and he's the one they all have to catch. He's the reigning Miracle Mile champion. He's the fastest horse in Australasia. He's got a mile of 48.5 against his name, and we all know how much he loves this big track at Menangle. He's going to take plenty of beating. In saying that, though, no horse going better than the WA superstar, I'm the Mighty Quinn.
Going to be a bit of an arse, though, isn't he? He had a hard run at Gloucester Park Friday night winning. Now he's got to take the long trip over, arriving late. It's not. He's not afforded any luxuries.
No, it's not ideal, but at the same point, he's a more mature horse than what he has been in previous campaigns when he's been brought east. He performed so well last season when he was taken to Victoria and also to Auckland. I don't think that the travelling is going to be a big problem for him, and I think the fact that he had a good solid hit out over 2,500 metres is going to work to his advantage, because this is going to be run at a very strong speed, and that's going to play to his style.
Mr. Feelgood and Franco Jamar, not ideally drawn. Is the driving position been sorted out there?
Not at this point in time, so that's a big $1 million question that's yet to be answered. I'm not sure. I've spoken to Luke on several occasions. 1 minute he'll say Mr. Feelgood, the next he'll say Franco Jamar, so it's going to have a bearing on the markets, there's no doubt about that. Mr. Feelgood, good Queensland interest there. He was super sharp on Saturday night, 51-1, so he's going to be in the mix, but from the draw it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Speaking of McCarthy's too, Andy McCarthy, we had an interview with him at Albion Park Saturday night, coming up very soon. Let's do some news though first. Franco Emirates, the first horse we're going to talk about.
Well, he's the big Kiwi star that run second to Smoke It Up in the New Zealand Showday free-for-all last start. Now, he has been confirmed as a Victorian raider for their summer carnival, races like the Cranbourne Cup, Victoria Cup. Jimmy Curtin has outlined that he is going to Victoria. He's going to test the water with his big giant pacer, so look out for him in the coming weeks in Melbourne.
Okay, talk in motion from the all-conquering Rasmussen Graham stable. What's happening with her?
Well, they're having a great run, and they're bringing out their biggest strike weapon in Talk in Emotion next week. She'll be set to trial probably either next Tuesday or Thursday week down at the Gold Coast. They're very happy with her condition, so look out for her. She's a very classy mare.
They should put an ad in the Trot Guide somewhere. Out of form horses want it. We will win the Miracle Mile with it. They win everything. They're horses. Please go and do a story with them soon. I want to find out what that woman does, Vicky Rasmussen. She is a whiz. Ahoka Nevada's the next horse.
Well, he was crowned as the South Australian Horse of the Year at their function yesterday. Good Queensland interest with Ahoka Nevada because he's raced by Sam Tricassi, who now resides here in Brisbane. Speaking of Sam Tricassi, he's going to roll out his new acquisition, Timeless Perfection. She's starting on Tuesday in Sydney for Luke McCarthy, so congratulations to Sam.
Yeah, exactly right. Inter-Dominion Trot nominations?
They close off Monday, so this time next week they will be closed off, and for those that are considering nominating for this series, make sure you put a nomination in, because this is the final ever Inter-Dominion Trotting Championship.
The New South Wales investigations into their current integrity woes started last week.
Key licensees were spoken to at length by the investigation panel that is heading up this inquiry. At this point in time, nothing really to report. I will add, though, that Mark Verlander, who was warned off previously by the Harness Racing New South Wales Board, that warning off has been lifted. So he has complied with their instructions. So as a result of that, it has been lifted, that warning off status.
And Mark McNamara, former Sydney Harness Racing caller, now of course based in New Zealand. Some good news there with Mark.
Yeah, he tied the knot over the weekend with his long-time partner Katie Etheridge, so congratulations to both. That marriage took place in Sydney. They're originally from Sydney and, as you said, now living in Christchurch.
I've read some stories about Mark. He's calling wonderfully, both harness and galloping. You know who one of his inspirations was when he was younger?
Let me guess.
Me. Exactly. Now, let's go and have a chat with a boy on the way home, or at home at the moment, presently, Andy McCarthy.
Well, winter in America is cold, and when it gets cold, Andy McCarthy comes back to Brisbane. Andy, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Just here for a few drives at Albion Park tonight. No success, unfortunately, but you're here back in Australia for a few weeks now as racing closes down in America?
Yeah, the two tracks I race at over there, Chester and Pocono, they closed down for the winter, so I come back here. I think Chester's still going, but as soon as Pocono closed, I'll try and get out of there. You know, it's getting pretty cold there too. So,
how's the season been over there, strike rate wise? You had a good year?
Yeah, strike rate wise, I think I ended up batting like nearly 300, which is, you know, I don't know if they use that like batting average. They use it in baseball over there. Yeah, you know, I don't know exactly how many winners I got. It probably between 150 and 200 or something like that. But yeah, we whacked out $3 million in purse money there for the year, so that's a pretty decent year, you know.
Yeah, you got to be happy with that. A couple of horses you've driven there this season that have really caught your eye, or that you rate as, you know, top horses.
Yeah, I got to drive a lot of good horses. Had a bit of fun with one 3-year-old that Aaron Lambert trains. His name's Townslight Hanover. He was second in the Cane Pace. That's like one of the most prestigious 3-year-old races, part of the Triple Crown, you know. And then just went out to Indiana just 2 weeks ago, and he was second out there going for 280 or something like that. He's a really nice colt, you know.
Now, Aaron is Jimmy Lambert's son. And he's going well over there too as a trainer.
Yeah, he's going great. You know, the last 2 years he picked up a really nice owner and doesn't mind spending money. And you know, last 2 years he's had a top contenders. You know, and even just mucking around in the claimers and the opens. He had 2 horses this year, Mr. Massimo and McClellan. They done great jobs. You know, they both made 200,000 for the year and really nice horses. You know,
yeah, well, you're talking good profitable money there, aren't you?
Oh yeah. No, he does a good job.
Andy, do you like the lifestyle over there, and you're happy to spend most of the year there and then come back during winter?
Yeah, I like it. You know, it's a lot of driving, like the car, you know. Like you're up and down the road all the time. I'm probably doing between 12 and 1,500 miles a week. But it's good for a while, but I don't think I'd want to do it 12 months of the year. You know, 8 months I've had enough ready to get out of there. But I'll do it for another couple of years and then probably end up back here.
Next 6 weeks, you said you're in Australia now. What are your plans?
No real plans yet. I think I'll go down to Sydney probably Wednesday or Thursday and catch up with Luke and the newborn, my niece. So we'll go down there and check it out for a bit. I don't know, I might make it back up here for Christmas or something. I don't really have any plans yet.
I'm sure if you're up here, Dad will put you to work.
Yeah, they had me shoeing a couple today. And yeah, I'll try and take it as easy as I can.
Okay. You will do some driving while you're in Australia, but?
As little as possible. I got sucked in tonight, but yeah, I just want to chill out. But you know, I'll try and do a little. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's great to catch up with you again. Of course, next week's going to be a big night for Luke's stable down there, with Mr. Feelgood winning so brilliantly at Albion Park tonight. So he's going to have 2 really strong contenders in that Miracle Mile next week. Be a good race to cheer him on.
Oh yeah. No, I'll definitely be down there. You know, they're 2 very nice horses. That Franco Jamar's he's lighting up the board. You know, he's big last quarters and he's super fast. And then, you know, Feelgood, he's just as honest as they come. He raced huge tonight. Yeah.
All right, mate, great to catch up with you, and let's hope there's a winner or 2 over the next 6 weeks at Albion Park as well.
All right, we hope so.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Amy.
Well, there was Andy McCarthy. Would he get a Miracle Mile drive?
It's not beyond the realms here. I know Luke is keen to push for his younger brother. Of course, they've got a myriad of options. John McCarthy, obviously, if Luke decides to drive Franco Jamar, will be heavily favoured to drive Mr. Feelgood. But if Luke opts for Mr. Feelgood, it paves the way for Andy to be a chance for Franco Jamar. If not, Connections might want to bring over their original driver, Craig Thornley. So it's interesting times.
Certainly is. Let's take our first break on Blinkers Off. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back to Blinkers Off. Tonight we go to part 2 of our feature on Gold Coast Harness Racing President Barry Grimsey. Of course, Barry's son Sean doing a great job with his team, but Barry has a very interesting life as well. We continue our chat with him tonight.
I want to find out more about Barry's story, so let's go and have a chat with Barry. a lot has been said and written about the future of the Gold Coast. What's your view on it?
If you listen to the pollies, they're saying if the LNP get in, they will assist us in some shape or form. But I think the disappointing part is that Racing Queensland and the current government, they know that we're having a bad deal. I mean, if you look, we had that contract for 4.7 million, which was unconditional, and in those days it was the National Party, Russ put a caveat on the place. They resumed the property for the school, and in the end we went to Parklands, and not a problem. We're quite happy to stay at Parklands. We didn't want any money. Everything was going fine. Now they're closing Parklands. They paid the Dogs 10 million, or Racing Queensland 10 million. We don't know where that's gone, but let's assume that it's going to go back to the Dogs. On the same formula, we should get 40 million. Then we should get approximately 40 million for the 4.7 million which we put in 1988, which came from our funds. So there's 80 million. You listen to Racing Queensland. I mean, they want to spend this money on Bow Desert. They want to spend this money on Ipswich. They want to spend this money on Deagon. You've got the best track in Queensland sitting there. We've got no problems with it, no major upkits, nothing. I mean, Albion Park, you've got to spend money on. Redcliffe, you've got to spend money on. You've got to spend a fortune on Deagon. Bring it back to the Gold Coast and do it there. The future for the Gold Coast is not looking bright. I mean, if we can't get some money to develop our own complex, I mean, you listen to the stories and in reality, they're saying it's for the games. The other story is that the hospital do want it. They want the ground still. So you're never going to find out the truth. I mean, Racing Queensland has really not, in my opinion, assisted us at all. So,
just on those promises that the LNP have made, if they do get into government next year, do you believe them? Do you think they will assist the club?
I think any politician makes a statement, and then when they get into power, they suddenly go through the financial records of the previous government and find out that there wasn't the money, or this is the story we'll get, there wasn't the funds what they thought were available, so we have to put that off for another date. I mean, they've never actually said that, well, they have mentioned that maybe they wouldn't go ahead with the village, but if you get the games, which was going to be on Sunday, I can't see how they're going to change it. I mean, the other thing is, why couldn't they, I know Carrara is supposed to be a floodplain, but if it can be built up, and I believe there is enough land there for us to put a 1,000-metre track in. I mean, why give the Show Society 60 million? Right? Why give the Dogs 10 million? And we're the only people who put money into the complex, and we get nothing. We're not getting compensated in any shape, form whatsoever. I don't think we're in a very good position as far as the future. We've looked at properties out at back at Pimpamar. There's 100 acres properties out there where we can put a good, stable complex. If we got the money, we become self-sufficient. The club would be, we would be in a position where we could put money back into the industry ourselves too. We'd have a proper club, we'd have the stables. You could probably put a couple of warehouses down at the back. I mean, 100 acres is a fair bit of ground, and have a nice track in there. I mean, there's always a debate too, which everyone's talking about. There's the 1,400 and 1,000 metre track. Well, my views are, I prefer the 1,000. I can see everything what happens in a race course. I mean, I looked at Menangle and that, and it's like going to the gallops. When the gallops take off over the back straight, where do you see your horse unless you watch it on the screen? You've got to wait till they turn around, and then it's all over. That's one of the reasons I got out of gallops. There was no excitement in it.
Yes, that was the two-parter with Barry Grimsey. Of course, since then, the Gold Coast has been announced as the host city for the Commonwealth Games in 2018. So any rough chance that they weren't going to get it's now out the window. So the future of the Gold Coast looks pretty ordinary as far as a harness racing complex is concerned.
Well, it's on limited time, let's be honest, because it has been announced this is where they want to house the athletes, currently where the Gold Coast track is presently at. So if they're going to be housing athletes at that facility, there's no way you can have race meetings being staged there. So it doesn't look good, it's disappointing, but that's a part of life, I guess.
Exactly. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have a look at the highlights from Albion Park on Saturday night. Welcome back to Blinkers Off. Don't forget too, this Sunday coming up, there'll be harness racing at Clifford Park in Toowoomba. It's been a long time since they raced on the track inside the galloping circuit, but that's coming up this Sunday, top program at Clifford Park. Some highlights from Albion Park now from Saturday night at 8 Eventer. Let's see Shane Sanderson's BT Bromack in winning action in the second race.
BT Bromack can't shake off the challenge of Ace Attack Jack. They race together at the bend. Urbane Bromack back to third. Rusty Sailor starting to run on. Duly Elected brought to the extreme outside. They're into the home stretch now. BT Bromack leading narrowly. Ace Attack Jack Brave on the outside. Rusty Sailor, Duly Elected. They're both flashing late. BT Bromack still in front. BT Bromack beat Rusty Sailor. Duly Elected. Jasper in flight. Ace Attack Jack not far away. North Royal charging when it was all over. Just behind them, Dead or Alive, Mitchell Sands, Urbane Bromack, Calatrava and Montana Pablo towards the tail.
Well, Shane, BT Bromack, a strong win for the stable tonight. You haven't had the horse all that long. Michael Formosa had him last week here when he ran a good second.
Yeah, that's right. I've only had him the week, and Michael brought him up in good order, and I sort of haven't done much with him this week, so it's really full credit to Michael.
Let's talk about the race tonight. I noticed the tactics to push forward. Took us through that.
I just sort of thought the horses drawn under him tonight would they're generally horses that hand up. Michael did say he had a bit of speed if needed, so we just sort of thought, given the fact that a few horses might take a sit inside of us, would work forward and try our luck, and thankfully it panned out for us.
Gary was able to find the front at the 1600 metre mark, and he was able to rate him very nicely then. Yeah,
no, that's right. He really probably got a soft lead and copped a little bit of pressure mid-race, but Gary said he dug in well up the straight, and he fought on good. Yeah,
mate, what's his future?
He's basically just come up here. The horse is actually for sale. They just sort of brought him up here to sort of move him on if they could. Michael's owners are wanting to buy younger horses, so yeah, he'll just continue probably to race, in here in the metros hopefully, and all the claimers, and he's a nice little horse.
If anyone wishes to purchase him, you're the person to contact?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. If anyone's interested, he's a nice, sound little horse, and yeah, I can pass on the offer.
One thing we know, he's going to race honestly, isn't he?
That's right. Yeah, no, he's a very honest little horse, so he'll give you his all.
Right, Shane, well done tonight.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Damon.
Yes, well, we keep saying that Shane is one of the real up-and-comers in Queensland harness racing. I suppose he's really now established himself, hasn't he?
There's no doubt about that. Recent addition to the stable to BT Bromack, of course, previously trained by Michael Formosa. He raced here the previous week under Michael's care, but has since been left with Shane, and he strikes instant pay dirt there on Saturday night. Good performance. He was used hard early. They did notify the change of tactics. They outlined they were going forward, and he was able to fight off all challenges. So a good performance, and he gives the impression he'll win another one in town pretty quickly.
A horse who I think will go through his classes is Lightning Magic. He, of course, won at Albion Park on the Tuesday, and he was in winning nick again on Saturday night. Let's see him in action.
Best of Setter takes him down the back straight, final time, leading 3 metres. Lightning Magic is working without cover. Leaders back third, Free Advice, Forest Crusader ready to strike. He's 1 by 1. The inside the Cumberland, then Bucks back. Wider on the track, Holy Camp Harry, then Permission, hit at Lenny. And at the tail, Miniature Classic heading up towards the 400 metre marker. Best of Setter running on empty. Third split, 29.1. Taking over Lightning Magic, Forest Crusader. Looming big danger on the approach now. He's only a neck away, a head away, making ground wider on the track. Bucks back, Free Advice forcing clear of a pocket. Permission runs up behind them. They straighten now. 200 metres left to run. Lightning Magic leading narrowly. Forest Crusader about to join him on the outside. Bucks back goes to third. Permission still making ground. Lightning Magic still in front. Forest Crusader driving. Lightning Magic too strong. Lightning Magic was able to hold off the challenge of Forest Crusader. Third, maybe Permission. Bucks back was right there. It got very tight over the line. Then Free Advice hit at Lenny. Holy Camp Harry Miniature Classic, the Cumberland, and Best of Centre pulling up towards the tail. Bucks back crashed to the track, but he looks okay. Grant Dixon up on his feet.
Well, Ross Fletcher's only had Lightning Magic for around about a week or so, and he's done a great job winning 2 races at Albion Park. Ross, firstly, congratulations. 2 wins in 5 days. You must be thrilled with that.
Yeah, very thrilled. Yes, thanks very much. I just want to say that I haven't done anything with the horse. I've just followed on because I helped Darren Hooper out with the horse, that I know exactly what he does, so I just do exactly what he does, because when you're on a good thing, stick to it. So the horse was right to go, and we've just had a change of driver, and it's done the well for the horse. I think she suits him.
Well, unfortunately, Darren's sidelined at the moment. That's why you've got the horse. And as you mentioned, Kelly tonight was able to use the horse's brilliant gate speed out and find the breeze. And he showed great tenacity down the straight.
Yeah, she actually said to me after the race that every time Birch's horse came at her, the other horse, our horse, just kept giving. He just didn't want the other horse to get past, which is a good thing with a real nice horse. Is, you know, if they've really got the will to win, that's half the battle.
Now, Ross, the story of this horse, he comes from New Zealand. I think he's had now 6 starts in Australia for 3 wins, but he hasn't been here all that long.
No, he hasn't been here that long, but as I said, Darren's done a wonderful job with him, and you know, Darren's lucky he's got some really, really good owners, and when I've sort of fallen to this position, as such, his owners stick by me because I'm with the horses all the time, and I'd really like to thank Mario DiCarlo, which is this horse's owner, plus Craig Whiteoak, who's got a couple of nice horses there, and plus the Trent and Russell Collins, who've got a couple of lovely horses as well. And, you know, when this sort of thing happens, they stick by me, and I just sort of fill in, so to speak, until Darren's back, and everything works out well.
Well, you're doing everything right at the moment. So how many are in the stable at the moment for you, Ross, there now? You're taking over?
I think we've got 7 or 8. And I actually work full time. I start at 6 in the morning, so I do a couple of jog trips before daybreak. And Phil Chapman comes out and gives us a hand, fabulous Phil, and he's done a wonderful job. Even though today the accelerator got stuck, but these things happen. But he's doing a good job for us too. Thanks.
That's great. Now, Lightning Magic, the 6 starts in Australia, I think he's a sort of horse that he's going to acclimatise to Queensland racing the more starts he has here. Is that a fair enough statement?
Yeah. Well, actually, he blew up a little bit over the loins tonight, so he's still got improvement in him, and I think he'll just go further and bigger and better. And you know, we might get lucky and have an open company horse on our hands, but you don't know these things. You know, just see how things pan out.
All right, mate. Well, good luck on the win tonight, and all the best over the next few weeks. It's going to be a busy time for you.
Yeah, it will be. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ross.
Okay.
Yes, Lightning Magic winning there, trained by Ross Fletcher, who we've just seen, and of course raced by Mario DiCarlo, who's had a good success not only with harness horses but also thoroughbreds as well. So good to see Mario in form. He loves getting a winner.
Well, he's a very well-bred pacer, this one, Lightning Magic, and as you outlined, 2 wins in the space of a week. He came off the speed when he won on Tuesday, and he showed versatility there, leading basically all of the way there on Saturday night. That's a good thing for his future, the fact that he is a versatile pacer. Probably took a little while to work out a few little traits this horse has got, but they've got him firing now, and as you said, he's a horse that should get through his grades pretty quickly, knowing that he's got that versatility.
Well, the galloping bookies in Brisbane have been shot down in recent weeks with a string of favourites, so the name of this winner certainly applied to them. Pass the Hat Around. Let's have a look at him winning at Albion Park on Saturday night.
Trying to draw level on the outside, pass the Hat Around. High View Pace, well, he's got plenty of pace. He just needs somewhere to race. Lulu Nitro yet to peel. Wider on the track, Melton Miss Style, then a Mr. Attitude. Gemma can't forget the rest. Third quarter, 30.3. Longwood's at the top of the stretch, leading narrowly. Pass the Hat Around, throws down a big challenge on the outside. Draws level. High View Pace back to the sprint lane. Pass the Hat Around, goes clear. Here's High View Pace. He's coming through quickly. Lock wheels, pass the Hat Around. Pass the Hat Around, takes it out from Longwood's. Highview Pays best of good things beaten. Next over the line, Mr. Attitude, Lulu Nitro, Gemma Khan, Ed's Wild Cash, Nicky's Air, Melton Miss Style, Chicken on a Chain, and Lucky Moon.
Well, it's a jubilant Jan Sweeney who joins us tonight. Jan, congratulations on the winner. Pass the Hat Around. It's not easy to win in here, is it?
Oh, most definitely isn't. It's never been real easy, but I think at the moment it's harder than it's ever been. Yeah.
He certainly deserved to break through. He's been racing consistently, drawing badly, no luck. The weaker field to race that he was up against tonight was a big help.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, when the barriers came out, I sort of thought we're in a bit of trouble here. But Matty drove him brilliantly, and as you say, I mean, it was far easier company than he's been meeting.
Happy when he popped into the breeze?
Well, happy enough that at least he'd hopefully run a hole and earn. I mean, I thought he was still a chance of winning, but it just depended. And as it happened, he got a pretty soft sort of run there, and it worked out really well.
Jan, talk us a little bit about the horse, where you got him from and how long you've had him.
Probably had him about 14 or 15 months. I actually bought him off Rob and Katrina Martin. they bred him. He's a full brother to Tip Your Hat. Bob had only given him, I think, about 4 starts, and he does my shoeing, always has done. And we just happened to be talking one day, and he said he thought he'd probably sell him. And I sort of thought about it, and I rang him back that night and said, how much? And that was it. So.
And he's been a nice, handy horse. No star, but you can... If he draws well in his races, you know he's going to be competitive.
Oh, he's an honest little fella. Like, he's only a little guy, and he's sort of probably... He's a funny little fella. He sort of usually only stays up for sort of half a dozen runs, and then you've got to back off and go again. But he always puts in. And as you say, if he draws a barrier, if he's anywhere around and about, you know he won't be far away at the finish.
Jan, do you have many in work at the moment?
Very quiet, actually. We're, well, almost out of business. I've got this guy and one other one, and a 2-year-old that's just having another prep, and the last one from Canamarali who's a yearling now, and that's about it.
Jan, you've been in harness racing for a long, long time. We were talking before the interview. I can recall you winning a race here on a very smart mare that your dad had called Lita Vilo, and it must be over 30 years ago.
It's a long time, but thanks for reminding us all. Yeah, no, she did a great job. Dad's brother Ted bred her down at Inverell, and because their father had horses, like they've always had paces, and he bred her, and she did a wonderful job. I can't remember how many she won for him, but it was a lot of races.
She was a lovely horse for a young person to be driving, I bet.
I don't know so much. She used to have to jog with knee pads because she tended to fall over. But she was quite, well, by the time I got to drive her, of course, she'd done a lot of racing by then, and she was, you know. And actually, I went to an invitation race at Tamworth, and Dad had sent her back to Ted, and he put her in at the meeting 5 months in foal, and I actually drove her at the meeting. I think she only ran about 4th, but she went okay.
All right, Jan, best horse you've trained?
Of recent times, Hidden Gem. She did a great job. Like, it was just a shame she had sort of problems and things, but early on as a 3-year-old, she did a mighty job because she would chase Luke's filly everywhere, you know, the breeders and the triad. But she won the Racing Ministers Cup here as a 3-year-old, which was a pretty good effort for a filly, and I think she earned just over 100,000.
Jan, look, it's wonderful to catch up with you. It's a tough business, but you're a stalwart. You're a person, obviously, who loves harness racing, and it's great to see this horse win tonight. Well done.
Oh, no, very pleasing. Makes it sort of worthwhile.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, Pass the Hat Around, a horse who is a competitive horse, no world beater, but I'm sure he's going to win more than his fair share of races.
Well, he's a beautifully bred gelding, this guy. He's related to Tip Your Hat and those type of horses, so he's got ability because he's got that great relation in the pedigree, but he was able to get the job done there. I don't know how far Pass the Hat Around will go. I don't think there was a great deal of depth in that race, but congratulations to all concerned with Pass the Hat Around. Always good to win a race, in particular at Albion Park on a Saturday night.
A win is a win. And speaking of winners, as we close off tonight, what is your tip of the Miracle Mile?
I'm the Mighty Quinn. I wasn't concerned about where he was going to draw. He's just in super form at the moment. The fact that he's been able to hold condition this time in, he's probably racing about 30 kilos heavier than what he was last time in, and he was so dynamic last season. He's even better this season. His sectionals have just been brilliant recently.
Not a bad tie you're wearing either. Is that a Grimsey tie?
I think so.
The gold and blue diamonds. Thanks for your help, Chris.
Thanks, David.
Folks, thanks for your company tonight. Look forward to seeing you again next Monday night for another edition of Blinkers Off.